Alright guys, we're here. As I am shooting this, I have the image uploading. And as soon as I have the link set for it, I will make sure that I share that for you. But this is my orange Pi5 Batocera 512 gigabyte build. It's got 8,289 games on it. As far as I know, the last check I did, and it can be a lot to just be looking at as you're going through it all, there are 0 duplicates. Anything that maybe looks like a duplicate, we actually will have a good reason for it being there, as I will get into in a little bit. But between, for the arcade games, we've got 1,701 games. Majority of that's going to be running through Final Burn Neo, just as it is a easier emulator to run with for a board like this for running these old arcade games. So we got 1,479 games on Final Burn Neo, and then 157 on main. If any of you know, I mean, you're really not going to notice a difference. It's just how it's being run, and honestly, it runs much better on Final Burn Neo. I mean, Street Fighter Third Strike actually runs at, you know, the full frame rate with no audio stuttering, whereas with main, it struggles even on this board. And so we got the Atari 5200, 7800, Lynx, Jaguar, even kept in the horrible port of Doom that they did for this system with no music, which still baffles me. We got the WonderSwan Color, ColecoVision, Amiga 32, Scum VM. Highly recommend either using a mouse and keyboard and not a controller, or getting a Bluetooth little micro keyboard with a touchpad to be able to play these games and enjoy some of the older PC games. TurboGrafx 16 or PC Engine, however you want to look at that. Then we got the TurboGrafx CD. Super Graphics, we got 7 games on that one. Really, I could have inflated it with a massive library, but all it was doing was actually pulling over the PC Engine games as the Super Graphics also ran those. So that was kind of overkill. So gonna keep it down to at least the ones that I've had for a while. And it's still a great collection between all 3 of those systems. The NES, Famicom Disk System, Game Boy and Game Boy Color, both with 384 games. Got the Super Nintendo MSU, Virtual Boy, let your eyes bleed red after you stare at that red screen for a while. The N64, 207 games. They should all be working with the emulators that I have set up for it. If not, let me know so I can go back, fix things, and maybe adjust the image that's available for download. But I did take out some just because even using an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller, things just don't transfer that well until we can get full support for making it easy for getting maybe like an N64 style controller working on this. Like I said, Game Boy Color, we got the 64DD, where it's really nice is this time around, like F-Zero, got the audio to work for it, so you can create your own cars, or your own, sorry, hovercrafts, ships, whatever you want to call them, and even edit some of the tracks and create your own, and then save them, and create your own cup in here. Some of the Mario Artist stuff, SimCity 64, or sorry, that's there. Really haven't put too much time into this. Yeah, then Japan Golf Tour. GameCube. This was nice. I was able to go back and get some things working here. Beat Strikers Volleyball, Luigi's Mansion. This one's really per request for my kids. They love Luigi's Mansion 3. Really wanted this one on here, and it actually does run. There's little bits where you can tell that it's just kind of caching everything that it needs for maybe the next area, the area that you're in. But if you let it sit for a second, things run perfectly fine. Mario Kart Double Dash runs great. We got Mario Party 5. Both Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance, and Deception run incredibly well on here. I have this right now. This is all actually plugged up to my Quality Arcades cabinet, as it's going to be replacing the build that I had from them that my kids were playing on. Soul Calibur 2, Star Fox Assault. There's a little bit of an issue where the text on the menus isn't really popping up, but if you look online and find what you're navigating, being able to play this game on this board with a controller, it plays great. I haven't even noticed a dip in any frame rate, and so it's nice to have that game. We got Smash Brothers Melee, Runs wonderfully well. With 4 players on the arcade cabinet, it actually runs. There's a little bit of audio stuttering when it, like the character selection screen and maybe like the level selection, but once you get into the actual matches themselves, it's been silk smooth for us. The Wind Waker, I mean, come on. I enjoy this game. Hated it when it was first released, but it plays well on here. Same thing actually goes with Simpsons Hit and Run. You'll notice again a couple points where it will dip a little bit, but I think the fact that it's running on a single board computer and it actually runs as well as it does is pretty impressive. Simpsons Road Rage. Sorry, I played this enough when I was, younger and figured why not include it. TMNT Mutant Melee. I was trying to include some of the 4-player and multiplayer games that you can actually have, so it seems like it fits within the arcade atmosphere as well. Beautiful Joe 1 and 2. I enjoyed those games. Just a fun platform style game. But then we also have Beautiful Joe Red Hot Rumble. Fun 4-player game. Chaotic. At times can be tricky to find out where the heck you've gone on screen. So if you haven't played it, check this one out when you get this downloaded. WarioWare, per request again of my kids, in Wario World. So, yeah, I mean, they run well. We got the Game Boy Advance. Again, I've gone through. There's no duplicates. It has been a pain in the butt, but it's worth it to be able to go through and not see an obnoxious number of games just beefed up by inflating the numbers by including crap systems no one wants and just duplicate file after duplicate file. I couldn't tell you how many times I've gotten images where there's like, for maybe Street Fighter 2, you have like 16 different versions of it because it's revision 1, 2, 3, ABC, whatever, and then also hacked versions from the community. I don't want that. I want just the game, the base game that I played growing up, and that's what's in here. Nintendo DS, recommend using at least a controller of some sort because the right analog stick will get used as the little stylus that you can move around and touch things. And so, like, I did include Ultimate Mortal Kombat because then you can even have if you need to start learning the moves maybe for some of the other ones, it's actually a great port of a Mortal Kombat game on here. Trackmania, Sonic Racing, the Professor Layton games, figure why not. We got some Pokemon games on here, and plus New Super Mario Bros. U, or not U, Mario Kart DS. The Beats of Rage, I didn't keep tons of them on here. I mean, these are some great community-made games. But they can start really taking up a lot of space if you want to have them on here. Thomas Wave, good old Sammy. Some great games in here, and they all run remarkably well. I mean, Dolphin Blue tends to be a game that I know a lot of people end up trying out when they first want to show off what a board will do with some of these games. I don't feel I need to hammer that home. It runs great. Faster than Speed, again, this stuff, maybe use a controller. This isn't a build that's set just for an arcade cabinet. Some of this you will want to have a controller on hand for it. We got the Sega Master System, Genesis, Game Gear. I mean, obviously you can read this, but I'm just telling you what we got here. Sega CD. Going into this stuff, you're going to see that what I've done, if we have a multi-disc game, which I know we should be coming up on one soon, like Penn and Teller, Smoke and Mirrors. You see that underneath the video, just the lower left corner, you got 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. I've gone through and have labeled every single game that has multi-disc, so you can actually see if you're on the right CD for getting these games going. Otherwise, they just all have the same description, they have the same, there's nothing different. The video's the same, the description's the same, and so I want to make sure that it was as user-friendly as possible. And so, like you saw there was Enemy Zero, hello, Lunacy, and then Panzer Dragoon. So I've gone through and I've done that with every single one. Dreamcast, and then with a couple games on here. Or I thought I did. Maybe I moved things around. Oh yeah, Resident Evil 2, Code Veronica. Things are labeled. You don't have to have the guesswork of what disc you're on. You don't have to go into a separate menu to see it. It's there for you. The Naomi board, if I can talk. Holy crap. Great selection of games. I mean, for the most part, you're looking at, let's be honest, they're Dreamcast games. And so they run great on here. yeah, a bunch of Guilty Gear, Ikaruga. Let's see right here, yeah, Lupin the Third. It's a fun gun game. I basically use a Wii remote for it. There's a lot on here. Monkey Ball, Power Stone, great 4-player brawler if you want to have it that way. And Power Stone 2. So there we go. Let's see. Yeah, the Mega Drive MSU. These are all Sega games with enhanced audio. And so, yeah, a couple different versions of Mortal Kombat where they improved even the colors, animation. The Sharp 68,000. Again, one of those where controllers work great, and then enabling the translation can be a wonderful thing to do. And if you guys have any question, if I didn't have it set on one of them, I'm more than happy to walk you through on how to do that. Neo Geo Pocket and the Pocket Color. PlayStation. I've got 117 games on here now. Actually, not full games on there because that's going to be just kind of the disc. So there are a couple Final Fantasy games on here, which will account for, obviously, I think I've got 7 discs of just Final Fantasy games. Yeah, Chrono Cross, as you can see, one of 2 and 2 of 2. These I didn't have to label because they're already individually labeled for what it is. We'll come up to Gran Turismo and I'll show you with that as well. Driver. Yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics, but then we got Final Fantasy 7, 1, 2, and 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Final Fantasy 8. Gran Turismo 2, I didn't label it as 1 or 2, but you see arcade disc there to match up with the image on the left. The marquee on the left, there we go. The simulation disc. Really have gone through trying to put together kind of like a best of list, and I apologize if I missed anything that maybe somebody really enjoyed playing. I tried to put things out asking for requests from people, and so if there were, I got them in here. And if not, if there's something you want to see in the next one I do, shoot me a message in the comments. Shoot me a message privately. I don't really care. Let me know one way or another so I know what it is that maybe you're looking for in a build like this. Yeah, PlayStation Portable.
Prove your honor to me.
Definitely have enjoyed going through some of this. I mean, Peggle, sorry, there's certain games I had to put in because I just find ridiculously addictive and fun, and this just happens to be one too that my wife and kids really enjoy, just as like kind of a no-brainer, just having fun, playing multiplayer with each other. Yeah, Soul Calibur, Broken Destiny. I think it's a great fighting game for the PSP, and why not bring it here? Yeah, I don't want to take up too much time showing any kind of gameplay on this. I've done that in other videos, but it is done, it is finished, and it is currently uploading. So as soon as I have that link, I will make sure I share it, and I would love for you guys' feedback. Thank you for those of you that have been kind of following since the first video I posted that I was doing this, and for kind of letting me know that there is a, community out there that wants something like this, and so I am happy that I'm able to probably provide the first 512 gig proper build for an Orange Pi 5, and thank you guys. Again, be kind in the comments, but let me know what you guys would like to see in the next build I do for the Orange Pi 5. I'm going to be doing one for the Orange Pi 5 Plus once we finally get a proper Batocera build for that. And then I'm also working on one for a full-on gaming PC to use, which is going to eventually replace the Orange Pi 5 in my arcade, as I'm going to get set to expand my arcade to about a 50-inch screen, full, different setup for the 4-player arcade stick and buttons, and even I'm going to see about working in a steering wheel and pedals that you can pull out from the bottom of the arcade and lock them into place for racing games. And so, big ambitions for what I plan on doing. If you guys really want to see that, let's get that subscriber count up there. Let's get some, thumbs up on these videos and get this out there so you can help share this with people, especially this build. I know there's going to be people that want to see it within Reddit alone, in different communities. I've had a lot of people get in touch, curious about this build, and they want it. And so please share it if it's something that you download and you enjoy. Let's get it out there and start getting this board some recognition within the emulation community for builds like this. Instead of just running a single emulator, something like this for us to have is a pretty incredible thing to do. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I will see you in the next video.